Bowl champions, Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Phixated Podcast. I am your host, Mike Azalina, and I am joined by a guy who I'd venture to guess was not watching a Christmas movie before he jumped on here. Regzy Boo, how we doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I have started to wait until this was my wife's tradition that they wouldn't watch like any true Christmas movies until the Christmas Story marathon started on TBS. That changes with the boys. You know, we'll throw on Elf or something. So it's not strict right now, but I personally won't like throw one on without the kids around. So I still keep to that a little bit. But we also we will not watch like if a Christmas Story is on the TV, we can't click on it.
Oh yeah,
the first time we see it has to be when the marathon starts.
Yeah, so we were just watching Elf before I came down, and we will watch A Christmas Story tomorrow when it starts, when the marathon starts. We'll watch it while we're opening gifts. That's Andrea's like one of her favorites.
Yeah,
but as I was watching Christmas Vacation, which is my favorite Christmas movie by far. I don't know that it's always been. I feel like Home Alone for me probably like was. Polar Express is another one that I love. But I was watching Christmas Vacation and I was like, yeah, I think this is gonna be the cold open for tonight. So let's dig in a little bit here. So is Angela's favorite? Is it A Christmas Story?
Yes.
Okay.
If I had to guess, yes.
Do the boys have a favorite Christmas movie?
I don't know. We've watched Home Alone plenty of times. Elf, obviously. And then we just started I just got them to watch the Jim Carrey Grinch movie.
Nice. Which
was a great win for me as a huge Jim Carrey fan. That was big for me to get them to watch that. And I have just as much fun watching that as they do. And then Angela also loves, I think it's called A Family Stone. She loves that movie. Yeah, so the next big one is Santa Claus, the Tim Allen. Like, we haven't gotten the boys to sit down and watch that one yet. And that's like the next one. And then I really want them to watch, oh God, the Schwarzenegger one with Turbo Man.
Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, that's the next one after that I need to get them to watch. So we still got a couple on the list. They love Elf, obviously. They love Home Alone.
Yeah.
They like watching Christmas Story when we put it on. So, but there's a couple more on the list that we got to get to.
Do you have a favorite?
I have a top three.
Okay. Give them to me.
That could be in any particular order, because I don't want to put one necessarily at one, because I think at any given time it could change. But I think the top three are the Jim Carrey Grinch Stole Christmas, Home Alone the original. I'm a Marv guy. God, that guy cracks me up every time. Every time. I love it so much. And then I think number three, gosh, there's so many good ones. But I think if I have to pick one, it's probably, oh God, I'm waffling. It could be, it's any between Home Alone 2, Christmas Story, and Santa Claus. Those are in, one of those movies is in the top three. I can't decide which one right now.
Okay. Yeah. So mine I mentioned already. I love Polar Express. I love Christmas Vacation, and Home Alone is probably my other one. Andrea loves Elf. She will turn on Elf and watch it, even not in the Christmas season.
Yeah. Listen, not opposed to it for sure.
No, I'm right there with you. I actually there are a couple of scenes that still make me laugh out loud in Elf. And I saw one just before I came down to start recording, and it's when he jumps on the tree
Yeah.
to put
Yeah.
the star on top.
I got it.
I got it, and he jumps across the couch, and that one
Yeah.
always gets me. I am also a Marv guy in Home Alone, but I got to tell you that like the Joe Pesci character cracks me up with all of his sound effects, like
Yeah,
the hubba
sure.
shubba rubba
Yeah,
shubba,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that whole thing just gets me
Yeah.
every single time.
I think I love Marv so much because he's in those particular movies, he's so physical. And that's what I love about like the
Yeah.
Jim Carrey stuff, is that like his face is so good and he's so
Yeah.
physical with like getting hurt. Oh my God. Like I just crack myself up sometimes just thinking about in the second one when he falls down the hole in the building and he like cracks his own back and he's like, wow, what a hole. Like I crack myself up just randomly. I'll say that to myself and I'll crack up because it's just so funny. It's so funny. And I don't know why. It's it's so stupid, but it's so funny.
The Grinch movie with Jim Carrey has become one of my favorites. We actually did not watch that this year. I'm going to see maybe if Andrea wants to turn it on tomorrow while we're just hanging out at the house. But that one inspired me as an elementary principal to dress as the Grinch
Yeah.
during the school day and walk around the building and spray teachers with silly string in the midst of their lessons. I would not say things. I would just walk around and have like the body language of the Grinch
Yeah.
and do things to mess around in the school, like take things off of kids' desks. And so that, but his mannerisms in that movie
Oh my God.
are
So good.
just, they're so perfect. And I wanted to text you yesterday. I forgot that Liar Liar was on like in the middle of the day.
Yes.
As I was wrapping gifts, and I was like, it was the scene where he beats the crap out of himself.
Yep. Oh my God.
And he tells the judge he can continue.
Yeah.
Like just his body language the
Yeah.
entire time. The shoulders are slumped.
Yeah.
So
a madman, sir, a desperate man at the end of a rope.
I do forget how much you love that guy.
Oh
It's
my
so
God,
funny.
I love it. I love him so much.
So in the spirit of Christmas movies, I feel like this is one question we have not attacked on the Phixated podcast, and one that I feel very important to
All
the
right.
Christmas movie phenomenon in the Christmas movie narrative. And that question is whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And so I'd love to open that dialogue here on the show. I know I have my own opinion and I don't want to sway yours. Mine is very, clear. And have you seen Die Hard first and
Yes.
foremost?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Do you have an opinion on this? Because this is like a thing that I feel
Yeah.
like
I don't have a
I
strong
see it all the
opinion.
time.
I don't have a
Okay.
strong opinion. I think my take is because it takes place during Christmas, right? That's why people think it's a Christmas movie. I think
Yes.
it's a movie that takes place during Christmas, but it is not a Christmas movie. Is my take.
I'm 100% with you. Like for me, the Christmas is used as a device in the movie. It's used to get John to a party in LA.
Right.
It is not like it is. There's no thematic
Yeah.
like
Right.
evidence around the themes are like violence and retribution and survival.
And
There's
it's
no
in Los
holiday
Angeles.
theme.
There's no snow. There's no like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no Santa or presents
Right.
or like themes of giving
Right.
or like family. It's just like eye stabbing and
Yeah.
oh man,
Yeah.
and look, I agree with you. I don't know that I would like argue this tooth and nail with someone. If you believe it's a Christmas movie, I'm not here to change your mind. Just in my opinion, it's not.
Yeah. It just
there's
happens
not
to
enough
take place during
thematic.
Christmas, but it's not a Christmas movie.
It's more a plot device than anything.
Sure. Yeah.
That's all it is in my head.
Yep.
It's more a plot device.
We are
And
on the same page.
yeah, so I guess our conversation doesn't have to go much further than that.
Yeah. I didn't have
The Phixated Podcast's stance is that it is not a Christmas
yeah.
movie.
People are very shocked that we had the same opinion about something.
It happens. It happens from time to time, just not with all things, but from time to time, I feel like it's gotten more often that we don't have the same opinion that we do. I think at the beginning we had it a lot more, but I feel like recently we've gone different directions.
That's probably true, which is a good thing.
In some areas, not in all areas.
Yeah.
I've come to the Joel Embiid side of things that you're on, and that might be the only thing right now, honestly.
Hey, that's okay.
I don't know, and that is okay. That is okay. But Die Hard will not go on the list of differences, and
No, it will not.
that ends here.
I do need to get a text if you watch the Grinch movie, though. Like, you
Okay.
need to text me when you're done.
Have you seen the videos of the Grinch at Universal Studios?
Yes. And whoever they
Dude,
get to
they
play those guys are fantastic. Like,
So
they're
good.
really good. Yeah, it's really good.
So good. I mean, it is top-notch stuff. Like I told Andrea I would go to Universal to do that
Yeah.
because of how funny that guy is. I will definitely text you if we watch it. We don't have much to do tomorrow until we go to my mother-in-law's at like 4:00. So we're just gonna be hanging, and I think I'm gonna try and get it on that if I can get that on TV and Polar Express at some point. I'll
There
feel
you go.
good. I would have gotten all of my movies.
I like our lists because I feel like not a lot of people mention Polar Express or the Jim Carrey Grinch movie. It's usually Home Alone, Christmas Vacation, Elf, obviously. Not a lot of people get to those too. So I like our list that we have an outlier on each of them. I like it.
My favorite trivia question about Polar Express is how many characters Tom Hanks plays in those movies.
Oh man, do you know the number?
I do. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm gonna try and guess quickly. 13.
No, you're a little high.
Oh, is it like 8?
It's 9.
Ah, close. All right. I just want to see if I could get
close.
it. Just wanted to see if I could get it.
Yeah, he plays 9 different characters, believe it or not. And some people will say like it's a different amount, like they'll throw different but they don't always count like at the end he's the boy in the future too. Like so there's like it ranges from like 6 to 9 depending on where you look, but 9 is my final response.
All right.
All right, man. You ready to talk some sports here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, bud, we're gonna start with the Phils, and there's not a ton here to talk about tonight. There's a couple of things. There's a Phillies related item that is not entirely Phillies, and then there's a very Phillies item that we're gonna touch on. So let's start with the semi-related Phillies item. Today, Bryce Harper announced that he would be playing for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. So he will join teammate Kyle Schwarber. My assumption is Trey will end up on the team in some capacity, probably as a reserve because Bobby Witt is playing shortstop. And so my guess is that
Gunner.
And Gunner's probably going to play third.
Yeah.
Bryce Terang is going to play second, and so I think they'll have 3 guys on the roster, and so Bryce joins what I believe to be the best U.S. baseball roster that we've seen, top to bottom in its existence. We've not seen anything to this extent.
Yeah.
From offensively, I feel like they've had some good rosters, but pitching
wise, it's unreal.
I mean, you're running out Skeens and Skubal, and like Brandon Webb is not Brandon Webb. I'm sorry, Logan Webb. I'm thinking back to Brandon Webb from the Diamondbacks, and then McLean's on the roster. Like they are loaded with pitching.
Stacked.
Loaded with pitching. Did Mason Miller commit too?
Yes.
Goodness, good night. This team is going to be wild. So I was trying to figure out the lineup today. So let me just position by position it.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you what I came up with from the lineup perspective. I am excited before I move into this. I am very excited for Bryce. I know he really wanted to do this in 2023. He couldn't because of Tommy John. You know, he wore the uniform as a teenager when he played for Team USA. So I'm excited for him to have the opportunity to do this and play, because I know it matters to him, and he's such a competitor that I feel like he'll thrive in the environments that he's playing in, and he'll also not have Alec Boehm hitting behind him, so that'll help too. But let me run through the positions real quickly, and then we can sort of react. So they have two catchers, Cal Raleigh and Will Smith. My guess is that Raleigh will get a bulk of that time unless they want to DH him, but that's going to be tough to do with Kyle Schwarber on the roster, because you're going to want that bat there. Bryce is at first, Bryce Terang at second. You've already mentioned Bobby Witt and Gunnar Henderson. It's at short and third. And so far the outfield is Corbin Carroll. It is Pete Crow Armstrong, and then the captain, Aaron Judge. Now, they will probably add another outfielder to that list. They'll add a couple of infielders. It wouldn't shock me if Nick Kurtz made the team, local kid Nick Kurtz, if he got on the team as a backup for Bryce and another option at DH. But man, that is a loaded
seriously
roster as is. And for me, my lineup would be Carroll leading off, Witt batting second, Bryce hitting third, Judge hitting cleanup, Schwarbs hitting sixth, Schwarbs hitting fifth, Raleigh hitting sixth. And then however you want to order the last three, I think I would probably do Pete Crow hitting seventh, and then I'd have Terang hitting ninth with Gunnar in between him at eighth. I think Terang is so annoying that hitting him ninth is perfect.
Yeah.
Turns back to the top with Corbin Carroll and Bobby Witt right away. But goodness gracious.
I mean, yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's insane.
Is Terang the best second baseman we could possibly have?
So I was thinking American-wise.
Like maybe Nico from the Cubs. He's pretty good. Horner. I don't know if he's true. Like, I don't know if he can play for somebody else or not.
Right. I know he wasn't good this year, but like Mookie Betts can end up on the team and play some second base.
That's true.
You know, he's been on the team before and could absolutely step in. I really did not dig too deep into who else is out there.
No, yeah, that was just like off the top of our heads. Could we think of anything? I was trying to just kind of think of it.
I immediately I was like, well, I wonder if Stott would ever play, but he wasn't. I don't think he's better than Bryce Terang.
Would you want Terang or like Jackson Holiday?
I think I still prefer Terang.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing names out here. I'm just trying to think of.
No, I had no problem when I saw Terang because he's annoying.
Yeah.
He is really annoying.
And he's a good defender.
He is.
Yeah.
He's a really good
Gunnar
player.
At third is interesting. I was also trying to think of third baseman. Like I know, of course you're trying.
Austin Riley.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Austin Riley would be, if Austin Riley gets on the team, then I probably don't even start Terang. I'd find a way to get Henderson and Witt in the middle somehow. Riley would be the most ideal for me. I love that dude.
Oh yeah, he's disgusting.
I love that dude. And so that if they go with that middle of the order though, Harper, Judge, Schwarber, Raleigh.
Like, I mean, even just starting with Bobby Witt, like going Bobby Witt, Bryce, Aaron Judge, Schwarber, and then who'd you have six? Raleigh. Yeah. I
mean, it's so loaded.
And again, with Raleigh switch hitting, that's even like crazier because you can't put a particular pitcher in to even go after a run of two guys.
Yeah. And if you want to give Cal Raleigh a day off, you've got the best catcher in the National League, Will Smith, sitting behind him. So not a big deal. It's insane. And to think that, you're going to have Skeens and Skubal throwing for you in those games, and Logan Webb's no slouch.
I was about to say, who was like sneakily really good last year. That nobody talked about him. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously McLean. And there's one more that I'm not thinking of. Joe Ryan from the Twins.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Oh man. Just Joe Ryan. No big deal. He's not bad.
So do you think they take Kurtz over Alonso Because Alonso said he would play.
That he would play. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, they might want some youth. I think, you've got enough experience on the roster that adding some youth and exposing another guy who doesn't get as much national attention could be good for the game.
Yeah.
He's a tremendous player. He's super young.
Yeah.
And so it's someone that younger fans can latch on to.
Who would you want your reserves to be if you could think of a few?
Yeah.
Probably just need a defense speed guy, just a pinch hit for somebody or pinch run for somebody.
Yeah, I would definitely take Betts, I think. And because of his leadership.
Yep.
And because, those things he provides, he's a really good defender.
Yeah.
He's still got like plus speed, and the leadership component is, can't go without. They're going to have a ton of leaders on that roster to begin with, but I think it goes without saying. I would definitely add Nick Kurtz for a pop off the bench type of player.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's ideal. Obviously, Will Smith. I don't know if they still get 26. So there would probably be one more guy, and it's going to be an outfielder. I would love Kyle Tucker to be that guy. I think Kyle Tucker would be an awesome he would start.
Yeah.
It would end up probably being Pete Crow Armstrong as the
as your bench guy. Yep.
As the bench guy, and maybe they'd move Carroll to center unless Judge wants to play center. I don't know if he still can.
I would probably rather Carroll there.
Probably be Carroll and yeah. So Tucker for me would be the last guy.
Yeah.
Just imagine slotting him in behind Raleigh.
Yeah.
Hitting seventh in front of Henderson.
Right. And then you got PCA to bring in for defense and some speed.
And speed, yeah. I think that would be my.
Then you can shift Carroll to, right or left and
Yep. That's my
an outfield
those are
of
my
Carroll,
reserves.
PCA, and Tucker. That's a pretty freaking good defensive outfield, man.
So you've got your thump off the bench. You've got your utility infielder with Betts who can play all those positions, and then you've got your outfielder. If the roster can be bigger, I'd still try and bring Austin Riley in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'd still try and do it. So that would be that.
And then
would
you
be
probably move Bobby to second, right? And like Gunnar plays short.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Gunnar can play second. I think either one is fine. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like
I think I kind of trust Bobby to be over there a little bit more than Gunnar. Gunnar, I don't know.
I'm so psyched for it though. I can't.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I would venture like Japan will be good as always, but that Dominican Republic.
Yeah, run through that team. Let's run through that team position wise.
So it's the Yankees catcher. I'm just forgetting what his name is.
I don't know his name either.
But he's the catcher. First base is Vlad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go slower because I'm not remembering everybody off.
Second
the top
base
of my
is
head.
Cattell, right?
Yes, is Cattell. Is Frankie, is Lindor shortstop? No, it's somebody else, isn't it? It's Perdomo.
Yeah, that's right.
Third is Machado.
Manny, yep.
And then the DH is Jose Ramirez. And then the outfield is Tatis.
Who are the
Soto,
right?
I don't remember the center fielder. Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah, just Julio Rodriguez.
Just Julio, and then their staff is Fromber. It's Sanchi is in there. Sandy Alcantara is in there.
Our Sanchi is pitching for them?
Yes.
We can't stop that.
No. Well, Duran's not pitching for him.
I saw that.
Out.
Yep.
Yeah, Duran stepped out. And I don't remember their other two pitchers. Both are very good though. And I'm drawing a blank. But also on the team, Johan Rojas.
Yeah, of course. Listen.
Which begs the question.
Gotta have him.
Do they know he's on the team? I envision
probably nobody outside of the coaches know that he's on a team.
I envision like one of those old Western movies where like all these guys are hanging out at the bar together in at the old pub, and that's probably not the right word for a Western.
Yeah.
The old watering hole.
Saloon.
Yeah, the saloon. Thank you. and he walks in the door and everybody stops and just stares at him and he slowly backs out. Like that's how I picture Johan Rojas walking into
Who
the
invited this guy?
who even is this guy?
Yeah.
He's who you're talking about, Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yeah.
Like the defense to
Yep.
get like Soto off the field late in the
Yes.
game
Yes.
and put him in center field to just run around or steal a base or
Yeah.
something like that. So I think that I don't know what the bracket will look like, but that's going to be a fun.
Yeah.
That would be a fun game. I hope they get to play each
That's a
other.
lot of fun. Yeah. It's going to be fun, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it when it gets rolling. Something that's not so fun, Regs. Something that's not so fun. The JT thing. I got to tell you, I really don't think he's back. I'm at a point where I think it's less than like 35% chance he's back in Philly.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm just like, let's just move on. Let's use that money somewhere else. Because I honestly, truly, I think it's more important to put somewhere else than it is at catcher right now. I think your staff is good enough. Look, I'm not taking anything away from what JT does as like the game planning guy and all the stuff he does for the staff that everyone has talked about. That's not like, Marshawn isn't going to replicate that. But I think they have a coaching staff and a pitching program that like can put Marshawn in the best possible situation. Right? And Marshawn is a good enough defender, right? He's not a huge drop off from JT. I would say he's like, look, you got to give JT his credit. Still throws guys out well, still has a great pop time, all those things. And like JT hasn't been that good offensively. Yes, he gets his hot couple weeks and he does great, but like really outside of that, he's kind of just been not good offensively. And I'm not saying Marshawn is some revelation. He's not. But he's batting eighth. He's a switch hitter. Does it make your lineup a little less? Sure. But I think at this point, you're not relying on JT to carry you. Like, you're not relying on JT being that important to your offense. And if you can translate that money into going to get like a Bichette or a Bregman, then I think I'd much rather do that than spend 15 to 17 million on JT. Like, why would I want to do that if my other option is to spend a little more and go get one of those other guys?
I am 100% with you. I will always love JT.
Yeah.
I will. I do think some of the narrative out there right now about how he is hurt over the way he was treated last time around because he didn't necessarily get what he was looking for and how, he felt disrespected. I think that's a little overdone. I don't know that that's really JT's personality.
Yeah.
He doesn't strike me as that type. Plus, they did make him the highest paid like AAV catcher at the time.
Yeah.
In the sports history, albeit like it was 23,100,000 versus 23 million. And so, they gave him what he was asking for, which was to set like a new record for AAV. So I don't know that I buy the, his feelings were hurt thing. To your Marshawn point, I am with you. I feel as a defender, he is right there. I don't know what his pitch calling will be like. I think he's been around long enough to learn. I think that's something they can help along. I think pitchers just got to learn to trust the guy.
Yeah, right.
But from a defensive standpoint, he had the 5th highest pop time in the sport last year. I think he was like 7th in, his 4th best in his like arm, 80, 83, 84 miles an hour on average throw, which is insane for a catcher. I think something for me offensively is that he makes a lot of contact.
Yeah.
Like Rafi doesn't strike out a lot. JT strikes out a good bit. JT chases out of the zone. Rafi doesn't do that a whole lot. Switch hitter. His OPS was not crazy separated. Here's the issue with Rafi. We have no idea if he can catch a full gauntlet of games.
Yes. JT's health and durability is a huge plus.
And Rafi has not had that.
Yes,
in his
that's
career.
an excellent point.
He has not been there game in and game out. So they would have to find a guy to pair with him. And I don't think Stubbs is that guy.
I don't think so either.
They'd have to bring in somebody else to come and be able to catch, 60 games or so as a just in case.
I mean,
I have a name that
to me,
love,
it feels like there's veteran catchers out there all the time.
dude,
sign
Victor it's Victor Caratini for me.
Yeah, sure.
The Astro, the former Astro. He is a guy that people love to throw to. He is a good defensive catcher. His offensive numbers last year are very similar to JT's. So he's a guy who could split time with Rafi, and if needed, he could pick up a heavy load of the catching and be totally fine. Both of them hitting eighth.
Yeah.
If you're adding a Bo Bichette or Alex Bregman to this lineup, it's fine. Like you're not. JT's offense was not that great last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he got hot for a 2-month stretch. Absolutely.
Right.
And look, I've argued on this very show about what he does defensively but at some point that value is it's gonna detract because of his age.
Yeah, that third year that he's asking for.
Yeah.
Or like holding out for. Like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it.
And clearly the Phillies don't.
And I don't want to pay him $17 million for a 2-year deal. Like, you're not worth that much money, man. You're just not.
My guess is that the Phillies have given him 2 or 3 options.
Yeah.
And so one is a straight up, this is my guess, not reporting, just speculating. And I'm speculating this because they did it with Schwarber. They gave him like 4 different deals. And he came back and chose the 5-year deal. I mean, they even threw a 6-year deal on the table for him. And he came back for the 5-year deal. My guess is that they did a 2-year deal. They did a 2-year deal with an option, but it's like a mutual or team option.
Yep.
And then they did a 3-year deal, but for way less money.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking
like 311 or something.
Like we are talking 3 for 30.
Yeah, 3 for 33 maybe.
You want your 3-year deal?
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yep.
But you are not getting
3 for 45. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. And they'd be crazy to do that.
Yeah.
Crazy to do it. One thing I will say, and I was talking to a friend of the show, Brian Hamilton, about this. The Phillies need to get serious about drafting a catcher in the top 5 rounds.
Yes.
They have not done it since 2013.
I would be shocked if it doesn't happen this year. Honestly, I really would.
I mean, they're going to have to find a way to get a catcher into the system, one way or the other.
God, the Harry Ford thing. You were right. You were so on it. You were so on it.
Just didn't have the guy to get it done.
God.
Just didn't have the guy to get it done. But they have not drafted a catcher in the top 5 rounds. They've started to play a little bit with like round 6, round 7, but they haven't gotten into the fifth round or earlier. The last catcher they took was in the 2nd round in 2013, and it was Andrew Knapp. That did not pan out. So for a lot of different reasons, that did not pan out. So they're going to have to look into that. I'm ready to move on. If it means I can get Bo Bichette in this lineup, I'm more than ready to move along and get Bo Bichette somehow into this lineup with Rafi Marchand and Victor Caratini as your catcher. I do think just the contact of Rafi Marchand, he just needs somebody who can pick up the other like 60 games.
And it's
not great. It's not ideal, but
no, but it's also kind of like you said about the other guys. If he hasn't taken another offer by now, there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
He's truly just holding out for the Phillies to like submit to whatever he's looking for. And I'm proud of them that they're not. I don't want them to. This is the stuff, like adding that 3rd year is the stuff that screws you in the long term. Like the Kyle thing we can kind of get with, right? I have my qualms about closing the door on the DH spot for quite a long time with Bryce and, all that stuff. But again, as we've talked about when we talked about Schwarber, I don't think Schwarber's decline is going to be like sharp. It's going to happen, right? Age gets to everybody. It got to my beloved Albert Pujols. Like, it gets to everybody, right? The greatest hitters we've ever seen. It gets to everybody. So Kyle Schwarber will not be omitted from that list. But JT's offense, you can't justify, like, you're just paying him to game plan and be a good defensive catcher. And that's not worth 3 years at $15 million a year. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it anymore. It's not worth it. And it doesn't help your team that is going to pay a bunch in the tax. And we're hearing like is losing tens of millions of dollars, right? Every year. That's not a good way to do it.
Yeah.
And that money could just be spent so much better on like true needs somewhere else. And you just kind of have to take it on the chin at the catcher position for a little bit. Like, nobody has a really great catcher. Nobody outside of Seattle with the dude who just hit 60 whatever home runs.
Oh, yeah.
And Will Smith.
Really
Yes,
yeah.
I was about to say that. And Will Smith is very good. So we've named one in each division, like one in each league.
There are more out there. I'm not remembering all of them, but like there are more floating out there. The dude from Milwaukee is really good. I get your point though. They like JT, to me, JT's gonna be 35 at the start of the season.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna pay him in his age 35 and 36 seasons in a 2-year deal. If you give him a 3-year deal, it's 37, which would be where Kyle's contract ends as a DH.
Yeah.
And so, like, to your point on aging, we've already seen it with JT. We've seen the aging start to creep in with his offense.
Yeah.
Love the guy. I will always love JT Realmuto. And if he leaves, it'll suck that we didn't get to see him hoist a trophy here in Philly.
Yeah.
But it just feels like the marriage isn't going to continue. It just has that feeling. I'm still hoping it does. I want to be very clear in saying that, but I want it to be on the Phillies' terms.
Yeah.
I want it to be on the Phillies' terms.
Yeah.
It cannot be at 3 for 45.
Completely agree.
So we'll keep our eyes and ears open.
Yeah, right.
But it seems like it is at an absolute stalemate. And Regz referenced this earlier. The guys that are still out there are all at stalemates. JT being the only one who really feels like is like still tied to his former team. Like, Kyle Tucker has no ties left to Chicago.
No.
Bregman, like, very few to Boston. Bellinger, I don't hear a whole lot about him in New York.
I hear more Mets than Yankees.
Yeah, and Bichette is sort of lingering on whether Tucker becomes a Blue Jay. Because if Tucker becomes a Blue Jay, Bichette's not re-signing in Toronto.
Yeah.
So, there's a little merry-go-round with those four. JT's the only one still tied to his team. Those guys aren't getting the numbers they want. He's not getting the number he wants. In my eyes, they all have a number that sits a little bit better for what they can provide at their time in their career. JT, maybe not. JT kind of sits with me where Bregman sits with me. Like, Bregman asking for 6 years is wild.
Yeah.
Right. So that's sort of where I am with JT.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on it and go from there. All right, man. Let's jump over to the birds, shall we?
Let's do it.
The Eagles did something that we have not seen done since our senior year of high school, which is win the division twice in 2 consecutive years. Felt impossible. We have seen the graphic an unlimited amount of times at this point that we have to watch, like, the Giants pop up and the Cowboys and then the Commanders and then the Eagles and then the Cowboys again, right?
Yeah.
Like they do it in a million different ways every year. And finally the Eagles ended it. It's done now. We can move along from it. A new countdown starts now. And I wanted this to pause and just say, I've said this so many times about appreciating what we get to watch. This is 5 straight playoff appearances under Nick Sirianni. 5. This is 5 straight playoff appearances with Jalen Hurts as your starting quarterback. If somehow, some way, we're going to talk about this shortly, the Eagles find their way in the Super Bowl again this year, to me, it's become the best era of Eagles football in our lifetime. I know what Andy Reid did. I know. But they only got out of the NFC title game 1 time with Andy Reid. This would be 3 times in 5 years under Nick Sirianni. It'd be hard to debate that this isn't the best era of Eagles football if they find their way into another Super Bowl this year. I think there's more to this. I'm not going to talk about the Commanders game overall. It wasn't great. Like, it still wasn't great. We had 2 pretty good weeks in a row, and then they went back to like, oh, we're going to run the offense to try and beat this team and not just do what we do well. And that's really exhausting. Like, just have a freaking identity and use it. But winning a division in football, especially coming off a Super Bowl, is not easy. It's why we, bow down to the Chiefs. I don't care how bad the division is. I've seen that a lot on sports talk and, oh, it's not a good division, this, that, the other thing. If it were the Cowboys, it would be a totally different narrative first. Secondly, like, I'd have to look back, but the Chiefs division wasn't a gauntlet, like, over this run. Like the Broncos just got good.
Yes.
The Raiders
are terrible.
Not good.
Yeah, have been terrible for a while.
And who am I missing? Oh, the Chargers. Like, they also haven't been that good. Like, as of late. Now, the last couple of years, yes, they've absolutely come on.
Yeah.
The Broncos and the Chargers were both playoff teams last year.
Yeah.
So, like, they've come on more as of the last couple of years. But over the course of their run, like, they weren't out there beating, this wasn't the AFC North. Like, that's, you weren't out there with the Ravens and the Steelers and the Bengals and, well, we won't talk about the fourth team. They're really bad. But I think, like, that narrative is a little different for me when it comes to the Eagles. Like, I've heard it a lot on the national stuff, and it's still not easy to do.
Yeah.
And, before the season, that wasn't the narrative. It was, oh, watch the Commanders. There was only one guy saying that the Commanders were going to suck.
Well,
you're looking at him.
You and Fran Duffy. Fran was on it with you.
Yes.
You and the great Fran Duffy. Not a bad guy to be associated with.
No, but I'm out here saying over and over again, they will not be good. Oh, watch it. But now it's like, well, the Eagles, the Commanders weren't good this year. They suck. Right. I told you they were going to be bad. The Giants, yes, we knew that. The Cowboys had their whole I think they had less injuries in terms of the whole team than anybody in the division.
They started more like to start the season with a few, but those guys eventually came back.
Yeah, and I know CD missed some time.
Yeah.
I know CD missed some time. But, like, that's roster construction.
Yeah.
That was poor management trading Micah Parsons for what you traded him for.
Yeah.
You can't put together a defense because you're paying the quarterback $65 million. And I get that he's fine. Like, Dak's fine. But, like, what has Dak ever really accomplished in his career? So their offense has been good.
Stats. He's accomplished stats.
He's got great stats.
They are impressive.
Yes. But for some reason, when January rolls around, something happens. I don't know. It's weird. But I also need to point out that the Eagles didn't play consecutive home games all year. Not one time did they play consecutive home games. 5 games on a short week. And they played 11 playoff teams from last year.
They had 5 short weeks?
Yes.
Holy crap.
5 short weeks.
That's crazy.
They played two Thursdays.
Yeah.
They played Black Friday. They played Saturday this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've had
their
multiple
schedule
short weeks.
Brutal this year.
Yes, and the 11 playoff teams. So Kansas City early, the Rams, the Bucks, Denver, Minnesota, Green Bay, Detroit, the Chargers, Washington twice, Buffalo. Now, I know some of those teams on here aren't the same. I know Kansas City wasn't the same team this year. I know Minnesota wasn't the same team this year. I know Washington wasn't the same team this year. But went on the road, won in Kansas City, beat the Rams, beat Tampa Bay, which has been their bugaboo.
And I mean, that was Kansas City week 1. So
week two.
Week two. But it's like they were healthy then. They weren't. There was nothing.
Yeah, they didn't have Rashid Rice.
Oh, that's right. He got hurt from
Rashid
the previous
Rice,
year anyway.
He was suspended.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was suspended. So they didn't have Rice. And I don't believe Worthy played in that game either. I think Worthy
was he hurt the week before?
I think Worthy was hurt. So I don't think we played them with either guy. So I do want to give that.
Still Pat Mahomes.
Still Pat Mahomes. And we are a Pat Mahomes podcast. We support the GOAT. And you see how much of a difference Pat Mahomes makes after watching whatever the heck that was this week. Like that dude he changes everything. He covers up a lot of bad stuff.
Yes.
Denver, they had a 2-touchdown lead going into the fourth quarter. Minnesota, we won't even go there. Carson Wentz was bad. Green Bay and Detroit, the defense won those games. The Chargers was the 5 interception game. They just steamrolled Washington in the second half this week, and Buffalo yet to go. So all of that to say, Regz, my point is, while they are far from perfect and they have a ton of flaws on the offensive side of the football, it's still a great accomplishment to come out of the season with a second straight division title, and a 5th straight playoff appearance. They're probably going to end the season. I would think it's likely going to be, I think 11-6 sounds right. I think they might lose this week.
Yeah, like you said, the Bills need this much more than they do. I completely agree. I think you still have to acknowledge the accomplishments, especially when they haven't happened for so long. And because any other team would this would be a huge deal to win this division back to back. If you're the Cowboys, or even if the Giants were going well and had just won a division, it'd be a huge deal for those teams. Like, the Eagles are not the Patriots, the Tom Brady Patriots. We're not the Pat Mahomes Chiefs. We're not like the Cowboys in the 90s. They're not at that point yet. They've been really good. Like you just talked about, that this might be one of the best eras this team has seen. Like, yes, that's true. But they are not like an all-time team for like the past 5 or 7 years. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what we're talking about. So to diminish an accomplishment like this, I think is silly. We've seen enough. Like, when we talk about the Phillies, the reason we won it so bad is because we went through 11 years of not even making the playoffs. And to taste it again is so much better than what we had to go through for those 11 years. Like, I still go back and watch the video of me and you reacting to that Houston game and Brandon Marsh making that catch just for fun. Like, just to be like, this is what we felt just making the playoffs. Not winning a World Series, just making the playoffs. And like, I get it. This team is frustrating. Exactly like you said, the defense has been playing great. The offense is not where we want it to be with the talent that it has. All those things are true, but the fact that this has been our Eagles team, we've won a Super Bowl. We've been to, another one and came as almost as close as possible to winning it, to having 2 Super Bowls. And like, to win the division back to back is no small feat, as we've seen. It's been 20 years since this has happened. So we can accept the flaws of this team. We can do all that, but you have to acknowledge the accomplishments, because you have to, because our team is not the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady Patriots. We're not. We haven't won 6 Super Bowls and been to 9, altogether. Like, that's not the Eagles. But we're in a great run of them, but we need to appreciate that stuff, because we all know at some point it's going to flip back, right? It's just the way that sports work. It's just going to happen. It's not going to be fun, but we're sure as hell going to look back when it is in that point to be like, man, remember when we won back-to-back NL Easts? Remember when we went to the Super Bowl 2 out of 3 years? You have to be appreciative of it. And we as Philly fans are, very bad at it, but you have to acknowledge it and note it for the accomplishment that it is.
And just so we know, it was one of my 12 predictions in the preseason that they would do it. And so we got it. And with that, the defense, as we said, did, carry a heavy bulk of the load for this team in 2025. The Pro Bowl team got released today, and the defense does have a good number of guys who made it. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, why am I drawing a blank? Jalen Carter,
ZB.
Yep. And Zach Bond, right? And then Tyler Steen. No, not Tyler Steen. Cam Jurgens made it. I'm good with everybody I'm good with 3 of the 5. I don't believe Jalen Carter should be on the team, and I don't believe Cam Jurgens should be on the team. I do believe that we should have a defensive tackle on there. I think it's the wrong defensive tackle. Jordan Davis belongs a Pro Bowler. This guy has been unbelievable this year.
Did you see his quote?
Yeah, that he was disappointed, but it wasn't a selfish disappointment. He still accomplished a lot. I thought it was great. It's exactly why they need to keep him here long term.
I think it was a little bit different, and I only want to say this because I appreciate it so much. His quote was, "I was disappointed at first, and then I realized that was a selfish reaction." And he said, "I, at that moment, committed myself to only committing to this team winning and selflessness." He's like, yes, I was disappointed, but when I thought about it, I realized that was a selfish reaction, and said, I've contributed to this team winning, and I'm going to continue to be as selfless as possible to help us keep winning. I freaking love that.
I love that. Yeah.
And I didn't mean to call you out. I just loved what he said so much. That I wanted to make sure we got it right, because it was so good.
I'm happy you did. And I appreciated him, I appreciate him being self-reflective for a variety of reasons here. The first is that I think it's the next step in his, not just his coming of age, but becoming like the Brandon Graham in that defensive line room. He's got the personality already. I mean, he is such an easy guy to like. His sense of humor, he's so lighthearted.
Or even, oh my God, why am I forgetting his name? The D tackle, he just retired. Help me. Not Brandon Graham. Yeah, thank you. Jesus, thank you.
Oh, yeah. But for me in the defensive line room in general, like BG was the front row guy, the guy keeping it light, and that's Jordan Davis's personality.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jordan Davis shows up in every single social media.
Oh yeah, they love him. They love him.
And it's because he's just so easy to like. He's just so, and this is another reason as to why. So to me, he should be there. I'm glad that, he can be self-reflective and say like, look, I was disappointed, but I realized that we've got bigger goals. I think it's a good tone to set in that locker room.
Yeah.
And I'm proud that he's on the team. I think he's the perfect example of what they say when they say defensive tackle is one of the slowest progressing positions.
Yeah.
To sort of jump into in the NFL. And if that's the case, then next year's Jalen Carter's coming out party.
Yeah.
I hope that they extend both of them, because the steps that Jordan Davis has taken, you keep him next to Jalen Carter for the next 5-6 years, they're going to be impossible to do anything against.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. And if you can find a way to keep Nolan Smith and Jalen Phillips around, that is one load of a defensive line.
Yeah.
That is a load of a defensive line. Quinyon Mitchell wasn't in the top 10 of fan voting, by the way.
That's because nobody throws at him. He doesn't he doesn't have any stats because nobody throws at him. All his stats are they threw at him 3 times and there was 1 reception for 6 yards. And people are like, well, he didn't get in any interceptions. It's like, yeah, he's had 12 opportunities in 7 weeks to like bat a pass down or be in cover, like, because quarterbacks look that way and immediately are like, next read. They just fly on past it.
Where's number 8?
Yeah,
Where
they just fly on past it. Where's that rookie? He's over there somewhere. Where's 24? Let's throw that way. It's crazy.
Do you think there's ever a time in a game where he gets bored?
No, because
like, I often forget he's out there.
Yeah, there have been games where you don't even say his name.
No, you don't even talk about him. But unless they bring him up because of, like Greg Olsen will bring him up because Greg Olsen he's an elite color guy.
Yes.
Elite. And he'll bring him up every now and then. And I appreciate it because a lot of people won't.
Yeah.
A lot of people won't. I think Tom Brady brought him up in one of the broadcasts this year, but like, he's barely ever like, he's just not in the screen.
Yeah. Because they're just avoiding him completely.
Yeah, it is crazy. He honestly is he's a top 3 to 5 corner in the league in year 2.
I mean, look,
and
like
it's
the
closer
same
to top 3 than top 5.
It's the same with Coop. It's like we got 2 second-year guys going to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. And it is not
from an
accident.
Eagles secondary.
Yeah.
Just think about the secondaries we've been talking about for like the 7 years before this.
And I do think we also need to tip our cap to Adoree Jackson because he's gotten so much better throughout the year. I think, I heard this on another show. I can't remember if it was Philly Special or PHLY, but they were saying like he is the example of a Vic Fangio turnaround. Like while Sidney Brown is the guy that you like can't, like he's the guy you can't turn around. Adoree has been a story of like, all right, this guy can learn in this defense. Is he still going to get beat by a guy here and there? Absolutely. Because like he's not elite, but he's still good enough that he's around the ball. Like Terry McLaurin got him in this game. He got him this week. And in the playoffs, Devontae Adams will get him or Puka will get him at some point. But as long as he's not being got every play, then you're in good shape. And he's not getting got every play because it wasn't the only time that Terry McLaurin found himself with 8 across from him.
Yeah.
But he got once. So I did want to shout him out. I know he's not a Pro Bowler and that was the conversation, but I did want to shout him out because I think it's been an impressive run. We were not good in week 1. We were not okay.
Yeah.
And as the weeks have gone on and they've played some good teams with good receivers. And he's been okay.
Yeah.
He's been okay.
Yeah.
So all right. Because I just mentioned like the idea of being beat by certain guys come playoff time. Let's talk about these playoff teams. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the seeds and I'm just going to ask you on a 1 to 5. What do you think a 1 to 5 is fair? Or would you prefer 1 to 10 for a concern like 10 being this team is damn. That's
no, let's do
tough.
5.
All right. I think that's a better scale. So, okay. And we're framing it as this, like, in comparison to the Eagles, you put those 2 teams on the field. 5 is they're going to lose that game.
I was taking it in terms of like, how scared am I to play this team?
Right. Based off of that.
Yes.
Like,
based off
5 is they're going to lose. That's how scared I am. 3 is, this is a coin toss to me. I really don't know. And 1 is I'm like, put the ball in the middle of the field. I'm good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I'm going to ask for why, and I'll give you mine after for each team. Seahawks, they're the number 1 seed as of now. They would have the bye. The Eagles would not see them until the NFC Championship game in Seattle. Keep in mind, the Eagles haven't beaten a Seahawks team since like the early 2000s. They're like over their last 10.
Yeah. I'm a 3. And I think that defense is legit and can do some things to really mess up our offense. And I think Vic would have a field day with Sam Darnold with disguising things and all that stuff. And look, JSN is really good, but I think Vic is really good at, if you have one guy, he will figure out how to take him away.
So I'm going to add a little layer to this because I like that you put him at a 3. I actually have him at a 2, and that's splitting hairs at that point. But there are 6 teams that they could possibly play. Do you know who the 6 teams are? Do you know the other 5 playoff teams?
Rams, San Francisco, Chicago, Green Bay, and then either Tampa or Carolina, right? Carolina at this point.
Right now it's Carolina.
Yeah.
So if I asked you to put them, like, blind rank them, essentially, not really even blind rank them, where would you put the Seahawks in, like, 1 being the team you're most confident, 6 being the team, oh God, keep them at the bottom of my list, I don't want to see them. Where would you put the Seahawks in comparison to the other teams? You have them as a 2 in terms of the scale of fear, but where do you put them in the rankings?
They're probably 3rd or 4th. I think it goes Rams, Bears, and then it's some combination of Green Bay and Seattle. And those could flip-flop for me.
Okay. I actually have them. It's funny because they're a 2 for me, which kind of shows you how I feel about the other teams on this list. But they're the second team on my list. They're 5. Like they're 2. Like I'm sorry, they're 5. Like 1 would be the Panthers. Like I would most want to play the Panthers. Yeah. But for me, the Seattle's 2, and it's funny because I don't fear Sam Darnold even like microfiber. Like he does not scare me at all. Their defense is really good and would probably mess with us quite a bit. I could see their defense. I could see the Eagles. That's a game the Eagles would have to win like 10-7.
Yeah.
Like,
that defense is legit. That Seattle defense is legit.
And playing there is very tough.
And they're a really good run defense. Like they're a really good run defense, which makes us rely on a pass offense that has not been overly reliable this year.
But it's also Sam Darnold.
No, yeah, for sure.
So for me, so they're a 2 for me, and they're like 5 on my list, which is feels weird, but you'll see why. All right, number 2 is the Chicago Bears.
They're a 4.
Okay.
Because I think...
And you said that they probably fit like right next to the Rams for you.
Yes. I think because Ben Johnson has seen something and has figured, and I think he's smart enough to figure out what worked in the last game. And look, Vic will make adjustments, undoubtedly. Yeah. He will make adjustments to try and figure that out, but they're playing well, man. And I think with Green Bay being a little bit down, with some of their wide receivers starting to be out, with Love having the concussion, I just think at this point the Bears are up there. I'm not saying I'm not saying they're world beaters or like they're impossible to beat, because I don't think that whatsoever. I just think when we're talking about these 6 teams, I got to put them near the top.
Yeah. So the fear ranking for me is 3. This was a coin toss, even in the game that the Eagles lost when they played like garbage and gave up almost 300 yards rushing. They had a chance to win. And so for me, one of the worst games they played defensively, was a coin toss because the offense couldn't get it together. For me, what the Bears did really well in that game, Vic would have an answer for. Now Ben Johnson's brilliant. Yeah. So he come in with a totally different approach. And could stifle the Eagles once again. But I would trust Vic to come in with a better game plan than what they came in with. And I think Vic, if you were to ask Vic in a very candid situation, who he wants to play in the postseason, I bet you would say the Bears. I think Vic's the type of guy who wants his get back.
Yeah.
So they're a coin flip for me, but they're also they'd be like number 4 on my list. of teams. Like for me, 5 is the Seahawks, 4 is the Bears. And so that brings us to the Panthers. What is your fear level on the Panthers?
1.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're very good. They have their moments. I think Ted McMillan is nasty. I think he's great. But again, he's kind of all they had got. And I think Bryce Young has been entirely inconsistent. He has moments of greatness and then moments of absolute terribleness. And I just think that in Philadelphia, I just think it's
a cold weather game.
Yeah, I just think it's a
and
1.
I mean, you mentioned Ted, and I also love him, but we just talked about how there's a certain guy on the other side of the field who just takes other guys away, and they don't exist for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
So I don't know that Rico Dowdle would be enough. He's a good player, and I'm not saying that in jest. I'm saying I just don't know that they'd be able to run the ball for 4 quarters to beat the Eagles. So they're a 1 for me, and they're number 1 on my list. Which brings us to the San Francisco 49ers, who locked up their spot in their win over the Colts last week. What do you got?
A 2. I think their defense is really bad. Just
bad.
They're playing old man Rivers. I get it. The offense in Kyle Shanahan, of course, is still a thing. McCaffrey's had one of the best years he's ever, really underrated, really good year. Kittle is still obviously very good. Purdy has been playing better, but that's all they have. It's those 3 guys on offense, and I just think their defense has been really bad. I trust us to beat them in a home game.
Yeah, let me just real quickly. I just want you to know that they have played only 4. I tried to do this earlier and I forgot to finish, so I apologize. That's 5, 6. Yeah, barely 7. They have played. And I don't count the Colts because this is not the same Colts team. They played 7 teams with a winning record, and they have lost to 3 of those 7 teams. The teams that they beat are an 8-7 Texans team. Or I'm sorry, they lost that Texans team. They beat the Seahawks in week 1, and they beat the Rams in week 5. Both division games that usually ends up being the case. The next time the Rams played them, they walloped them, dropped 42 on their heads. And so for me, they are a 1. I don't fear Brock Purdy for a single second. Not even for a second do I fear him. And that is a really bad defense coming into Philly. There's still a chance that could be a first-round matchup for the Eagles. There's still stuff that could happen that could flip them and the team in front of them. I have them 2 on my rankings list in terms of bring it on. But I'll be curious because they play the Bears this week.
Yeah.
So it's a big game for seeding reasons. I think the Bears could pretty much lock in that 2 seed with a win, and the Niners, I believe, have a shot to move into the 1 seed with their own win and the Seahawks loss, which would just be mind blowing. They have not played anybody this year, anyone.
Yeah.
That takes us to who I believe is probably both a 5 for us and the team on the list, the Rams.
Yeah. Yeah. They're it. That's it. Stafford's terrifying. Puka Nacua is unbelievable. Devontae Adams has been unbelievable in the red zone and everywhere else.
Yeah.
Kyron can still run the ball, and their defense has been much better than they were last year.
And don't forget Blake Corum.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have 2 running backs.
Yeah.
That can get it done.
Yeah, they're top of the list.
I'm with you. They terrify me, and I do believe that's a game that the Eagles would lose.
Yeah.
I'm convinced they would lose. I think that the Rams would be coming in angry about what happened earlier in the year. That is the first round game right now.
Yeah.
And I'd be buckling in for a first round exit. And I honestly don't even think it would be close. I know that I don't typically take this route, but that team's really good.
Yeah. Yep.
They're really, really, really good. And we mentioned earlier that Q can lock down a guy, but they got two dudes.
Yep.
Two dudes. So that ain't Cooper Kupp running around anymore.
Yeah.
Now Devontae's also banged up. He's got a hamstring thing going on. So that could potentially still be an issue, especially playing in cold weather if they had to come to Philly. So keep that in mind. And then the last team right now is the Green Bay Packers. Curious where you sit here. I know they're probably ranked in the middle of your pack in terms of like who you want to play versus who you don't. But where do you have them in your fear rankings?
I think it's a 2 now. I think with Micah gone, they had to drop down a notch.
And I think has there been any update on Love? Is Willis playing now? Is he hurt?
I don't know if anything's been like confirmed.
Okay.
But you think concussions usually take like 9 days and they're on a short turnaround.
He might miss
I don't
this
know.
week.
I think he might miss this week. I don't think he'll be gone for the playoffs, but
no. But but they might miss is sort of my my thought here. Who do they have left? They play the Ravens and then they go to Minnesota. Now the Ravens might be playing without Lamar. So that's going to be a weird Saturday game. So the Packers sort of fit into the middle of mine too. I still think they're a well-coached team, so it wouldn't be easy. The weather doesn't impact them. We just tend to have, for whatever reason, we just have their number. But the Michael Parsons loss is just
huge. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He was playing so well. He was playing so well.
So much of like impact when he's not on the field. All right. So we'll obviously have more sort of intel into the postseason once we get to through next week. It's nice to not have to really focus as much on this game. And I don't want to act like the Bills game isn't important. It's a good measuring stick for the Eagles, but we don't have to spend as much time talking about it because for us, it really doesn't matter a lot. Like it just comes down to, seeding and and I know that the Eagles want to win the game, and so Jalen Carter's playing. It sounds like Lane's going to give it a try. I don't know. I don't think I love that. If I'm being honest,
I'm with you there.
I'd prefer he doesn't play in this game and just let's get to the postseason. Lane Johnson isn't a guy who needs reps like he's Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
And I'd prefer giving him the extra 2 weeks and
absolutely,
just, and go from there. The other guys, I want to see them out there. Like I do. I want to see them all out there. I don't think there's much to highlight here. That the Bills defense is bad. The quarterback's good. That's that. The Eagles have played really good offenses this year. And, the Rams were the one that got them.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the best quarterbacks they faced. I mean, obviously they faced Mahomes. Outside of that, Herbert's probably the best that they faced, and Dak. So it'll be interesting to see what Josh Allen can do to them. For me, the key is what it's been the last couple of weeks. We got to see something from the offense.
Yeah.
There were good things late in this game. I'd also like to see Jake Elliott make a kick or two.
That would be good.
I'd like to see Jake Elliott make a kick or two.
That would be good. Mine, I'll go off more on the defensive side. I think the key is stopping the Josh Allen scrambles. I think they've had a little bit of a problem with those. We saw it in like the Kansas City game with Mahomes. Allen is obviously maybe the best at it right now that Lamar isn't kind of doing his thing. and he's really tough to bring down. And I think they have to do a good job of containing him because he can, he can wreck a game by doing that kind of stuff. Like we've seen it all the time. So I'd like to see them have a plan for that. And execute on it because again, they really need to stop the run and stop Josh Allen running. That's really the key. Like the passing game isn't great. They don't have a ton of like world beaters at the skill positions, the Bills. So I think it's really containing James Cook and it's containing Allen on the scrambles.
Before we go into predictions, I saw something today that blew my mind. This will be the third game that the Eagles third regular season game that the Eagles will go into with a worse record than their opponent since week 12 of 2021.
That's hilarious.
So when we talk about like this era of Eagles football, they went into week 18 of 2021 against Cowboys with the worst record. Week 3 last year against the Saints when they were 1-1.
That's crazy.
With the worst record. And this year against the Bills in week 17. And they're only one game worse than, I think the Bills have 4 losses to our 5. The Bills opened as 3.5-point favorites. It has trickled itself down to 1.5 points. So the Birds are an underdog for the first time in what feels like forever going into this game in Buffalo. The total's 43.5. So Vegas sees it as somewhat of a defensive struggle. Regz, we've been going with you to open the bidding here.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue that trend.
All right. I'm going to say they lose 17-14.
Oh, wow. That's real. I know there's supposed to be weather. Is that why you're...
I'm just thinking it's going to be one. I don't think the defense is going to play particularly bad. I don't know. I just don't see the offense putting up a lot of points for some reason. Yeah, that's just, I don't know. I see a low one. I see a low scoring one.
All right, I got the Bills 21, the Eagles 20 this weekend. And so here's what I'll say. If they lose close and the offense looks good in whatever weather they're playing in, or good in relation to whatever weather they're playing in, then I'll be okay. This is really their last tune-up.
Yeah.
I don't care what the seating situation is in week 18 after Dan Quinn was an idiot in his press conference. Like, I don't want to see a single starter. I don't want to see a guy whose name I know out there in week 18. Like, I know we're going to see like the Keely Ringos and, those types of guys, but just, get through week 18. I don't want to see any of these dudes out there. And I know we won't, but it's a conversation for another day. Anything else?
No, I think it's like one of those weird games where we don't need it. We still want to, like, the team obviously wants to come out and play well against a good opponent on the road, but it just feels like one of those games where, like, we might not just have our whole hearts in it, because it just, nobody's going to want to get hurt. Like, everyone's going to want to just make it to the playoffs. Just feels like one of those weird games. But who knows? Who knows what happens?
Yeah, it's weird because these Eagles teams don't typically show up that way because of their leadership.
Yeah.
And there's still a chance that they could be a 2 seed. And so, you win this game and at that point you'll know whether or not you could be a 2 seed and go from there. But I can see that happening too, where they're just going through the motions a little bit and maybe they're getting blown out and it just takes guys off the field.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would hate to go in. Like, here's the one thing I will say. They are of the mindset of, like, you got to be playing your best football going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they know that this is their last chance to play that style of football.
Yeah.
So they're going to go in and try and win this game so they can, because next week a loss doesn't matter. Right, like a loss to the Commanders in week 18 when you're playing,
right.
your third stringers,
Sure.
that doesn't matter to you.
Yep.
But it would matter a lot more if they lose this week, especially if they lose in an ugly way. So I think they'll be locked in and ready to go. Whether they win or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. All right. So we will be back at you. What is next? Is next week? Is New Year's Eve Thursday?
Yes.
Wednesday? Thursday?
New Year's Eve is
Thursday?
Wednesday into Thursday.
Okay. So we might be back with you on Tuesday. Just because you just never know with those 2 days what it's going to bring. But we'll talk about it, and we'll come back at you at some point next week. In the meantime, click the subscribe button, go to wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us there, rate us there, do all the things. Go on your social media at the Mic Drop 5, at Big Regz with a Z on Twitter, at the Phixated Podcast on Instagram, at the Phixated Pod on TikTok, Phixated fan page on Facebook. And the merchandise link is in the show description below. I checked. It is 7 characters that Tom Hanks played, not 9.
Right,
I apologize. I wanted to correct myself before we got off the show here. Make sure you watch a good Christmas movie tonight or tomorrow.
That's right.
And we wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday, whatever you celebrate. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. We love each and every one of you. And, JT, come on, man.
Happy holidays, everybody. Go Birds.
Oh my God, deep
Go
to right
Birds.
field, way up there and way out of here. The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.